All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to I'll name this segment later. GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Title forever in the works. Oh, evil laugh aside, sorry, I was fighting really hard to hold that back. Evil laugh aside, we're gonna talk about, if the title hasn't given me away yet, we're gonna talk about the follow-up to the whole I think they confirmed what the store was. The whole grocery store situation with the fan. I think it's been confirmed that it was Safeway. So we're gonna talk about that. That's the follow-up to the first one or whatever. And it didn't need to go here. It really didn't. All he had to do, all this mongoloid had to do was be honest the first time around and just keep it pushing. But he couldn't. He can't be honest to save his life. And that's why this dumb shit has to happen. Now, truth be told, this is actually my fault. Because I should have held off. I should have held off from doing that first video, and we could have, this all could have just one big ass video. This could have been, I should say, one big ass video. That's all it could have been. That's all it should have been. But no, I had to sit around and wait. And that's why we're at where we're at now. So, quick refresher, just in case you guys didn't watch the first one. DSP was, a few months ago, was spotted at a Safeway grocery store by the guy that you see up there on your screen here. He went by, said hello, took a fan pic, and then there you go. And then recently it's surfaced, if you will. DSP goes into this giant diatribe about how he's not a bad person. If you want to meet up, if you want to, not a meet up, but if you see him out in public, just come up to him and ask him for a picture or an autograph. He's fine to do it. Whatever. And then he goes further into, his detractors are mentally ill and this, that, and the third, and basically feeds into his paranoia on why he can't do anything publicly because all these people who follow him scared the shit out. Womp, 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 womp. So anyway, initially though, DSP tried to deny he even knew what the fuck was even going on, so on and so forth. This right here is literally the follow-up to it, where he basically tries to wrestle control of the situation, tries to clean up the story, and makes himself seem like the victim and the hero at the exact same time. Womp womp. That's essentially what the deal is. Hopefully you guys are all doing well, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Won't even hold off. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's see here. All right, this one right here is it. All right, shut up. So let's go ahead and give a bit of an introduction before we go on to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me a second. See, Phil's that easy to mute. Okay, let's see here. This is brought to us by Raw Phil. Big ups. This was cut by me, so it's not gonna be great and whatnot. Diggs is still on vacation as well as everybody else, so it's just me. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. In any case, but big ups to Raw Phil and whatnot. And let's see here. DSP speaks on the Safeway grocery store picture with a fan and tries to clean up the story. This is from August 3rd of 2026. That's a thing. And big ups to Chio. And big ups to all y'all. Without further ado, here we go.
Obviously, it was great yesterday. AC, Black Flag continuing, and we had some good progress there. And it was a fun, chill, late-night stream of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. For what I'm going to understand, we're nearing the end of Brilliant Diamond. Like, we have the Elite Four, and then after that, there's a little post-game. We may finish it within the next couple of weeks, which I guess would be good because we got a lot going on, and we're probably going to need the time for other games. So, yeah, I'm pumped for it. I hope that you guys are too.
All right, here we go.
We got a couple contributions already. We have Soul Made Gone, that stupid, really dumb meme, with 100.
That shit's hilarious. It's hilarious because he gives it so much. He gives it so much power, and he doesn't need to. Just ignore it, but he can't. Because he's really scared that she will leave him. He has abandonment issues. He always has, to be honest. And you saw it at its worst. I would have said that you saw it at its worst when he left Connecticut. But in reality, I think you saw him at his, well, I still say it was the worst because he moped about that shit for years. I would say the panda thing hit him the worst. I still got to say it hit him the worst, even for over the short period of time, because he was drunk. He was drinking every time or every night. He was barely cooking for himself. DoorDash wasn't prominent yet, or he wasn't using DoorDash. He was still going out to get food on his own. If he had known, if fucking DoorDash was really prominent at that time, or Grubhub or whatever, who knows? He probably would have gotten everything done back in those days. But that's neither here nor there. But in 2017, it wasn't that prominent for him at that time. He was drinking literally around the clock when Panda left his ass. He was barely eating, and when he does, it was when he was going to get Subway or some type of fast food shit. And he was barely showing up on stream. Like, he was miserable when he was on stream. And he was crying and complaining about how he couldn't take care of himself. He couldn't do basic shit like the laundry. He barely knew how to clean up his home. Shit, just recently, he's had a computer malfunction. I haven't looked into that super deep at this particular time, but I will. But I've seen pictures already, and his floor looks filthy. It looks filthy. So it's very clear that there's no dusting or anything, or no vacuuming going on in that room. And certainly Cat isn't doing it. So he's already living in squalor. And he's just accepting it. As well as the beer stains. You remember when this fucking mongoloid tried to pour himself some beer and poured it all over himself, and he had this weird delayed reaction? Like, you know, if you usually spill something, I'll see if I can try to insert that here. When you try to, when you're pouring something and it spills a little bit, you usually stop. He didn't. He literally just kept pouring, and then he stopped. It was like it was like he couldn't connect the motor skills to the visual and the hand-eye coordination. There we go. Because I'm making this more complicated than I need to. The hand-eye coordination wasn't there, and I don't know if he has nerve damage or something, because you couldn't feel that beer was falling on you, and that wasn't enough to make you stop. It was really strange, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, if I find it, it'll be in here somewhere. Crazy stuff, though. Just crazy shit.
Kicks. And then we have 220 with 500 kicks saying we need to know if the Safeway picture is real. Now, here's the thing. I didn't know what on earth you guys were talking about yesterday, because no one brought it up or explained it.
That's literally a lie. Someone did bring it up, and he went into a small diatribe about it, saying that he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't take a picture with someone. Oh, well, I did take a picture with someone, and so on and so forth. Like, I don't know why you would... I was acting like you didn't know anything about anything. That's fucking crazy.
All you had to do was tell me what was going on, and I would have been like, oh, so someone finally told me about it last night on the Late Show.
And imagine being so paranoid. Like, this is the real takeaway from it. Imagine you being so paranoid that you can't even admit that you went out to get groceries and someone ran into you. You can't even do that. Imagine you being so scared because you're such a fucking coward that anything and everything can be weaponized against you, or at least you believe anything and everything can be weaponized against you. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I get it. The whole meme about fucking Only Iced Coffee wants to sit there and skin him alive and then wear it, and then Duty somewhere in the background recording it so he can put it on fucking YouTube and shit. I get it. Whatever. But fucking A, bro. Like, life is bigger than fucking OIC and Duty. Like, calm the fuck down, Phil.
So here's what happened. Back, maybe probably a couple months ago. I'm not exactly sure when it was, but it actually wasn't recently. It was a bit ago. I was at the grocery store, and someone recognized me. And they said, hey, are you Dark Side Phil? I said, yup. And he was like, wow. The guy was actually like, how can I say? He almost seemed starstruck.
Why would you have to be gay like that? Like, see, here's the thing. And I hate when he does this shit. You have little to no human contact. What the fuck do you know about being starstruck? He was probably more shocked that you look as bad as you did in IRL. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, don't ever meet your heroes. But it's like situations like that. He probably was taken back by how you actually look. That's all it was. You know what I'm saying? That's literally all it was. And that, we don't know how often he watches you. He may have, taken a few months off. A year even. And then he ran into you and he's like, oh God. Like, who's this ghoulish individual in front of me? Because that's what you look like. You look like a fucking ghoul. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. If with the right type of tent, you can't tell me he couldn't pass by. He couldn't pass for a Fallout ghoul. You know what I mean? So he was probably taken back by that. No one's ever starstruck. Like, that's not a real thing. You're not a celebrity. You're not that important. You're a failed YouTuber and a failing streamer. That's it. It's not that serious. It's really not. LTG says dumb shit like this, which is where I think he got it from. But LTG says gay ass shit like that.
is the best way to describe it. Like, he couldn't believe that he was meeting me in person.
Well, yeah, you don't ever leave your house. You're a fucking hermit. So I'm not surprised that he'd be surprised by that. But that's not being starstruck, dumbass.
To me, it's like, who cares? I'm no one. I'm just some dude who's...
Oh, you almost called yourself a nobody. I'm glad that you almost had some self-realization there.
You know, are you dark side fellas? I said, yup. And he was like, wow, the guy was actually like, how can I say? He
That's
almost
so lame.
seemed starstruck, is the best way to describe it. Like, he couldn't believe that he was meeting me in person.
Starstruck.
To me, it's like, who cares? I'm no one. I'm just some dude who streams on the internet. Like, who gives a shit, right? But the guy was kind of like taken aback, like, whoa, it's DSP. I can't believe it. Now, the guy was perfectly nice. And he was like, can I get a picture? I said, sure. So we posed or whatever. He took the picture. And then he just said, oh, man, it's so cool to catch you, you know, in real life. And he says, all right, I hope that you have a good day. And that was it. Like, that was the entire interaction.
So would you lie about this? So why'd you lie about it then? If it was just that easy, if it was just that simple, if it was that non-offensive, if you will, why'd you feel the need to lie about that? What value did that bring to you? What need did that fulfill by you doing so? I'm asking for a friend.
And that was the end of it. So people ask me all the time, hey, did you ever run into people in real life who recognize you or whatever, and how did they react and how do you react? It was a perfectly normal, reasonable interaction. He was a nice person. I gave him a picture, and that was it. Okay? To be honest with you, I was surprised that no one brought it up because I know how much people stalk.
Now, see, this is what I said in the first video. It was either one of two things. Either he forgot about this whole encounter, or he was scared that it was a troll, that it might have actually have been a troll. And when it didn't come out right away, he figured it was an actual legitimate fan, so he had nothing to worry about. So he just disregarded it. But he lied anyway for no reason. Which one it is, it doesn't even matter. But that shows you how paranoid he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the reason why this dude don't ever want to really leave his house, because he's scared of running into somebody, because he assumes everybody's a troll. He assumes that everybody's a detractor, a critic of his, or whatever, and they're either going to do something to him, or they're going to put him in a compromising situation where they can put it online, or they'll pass it to somebody else later. Imagine you living your life like that. Imagine that's what your existence is. That you're scared of everybody because you can't control yourself. Because that's really what it comes down to. He can't control himself. And if you can't control yourself, and if you exhibit those type of behaviors and tendencies, then guess what happens? Someone else is going to control you. And that's what happens to him online all the time. And he knows it. So he's scared that offline, it'll become a thing too. Because if 1 or 2 or 3 people can get a reaction out of him in real life that causes a freak out, then more people will do it too. He knows he's not really safe. Not even really that he's not safe. He's not liked, respected, or even considered for anything online. He doesn't want that same thing to happen to him offline either. It's kind of funny. But see, his ego's too damn big though. So he's constantly fighting with that. So what's going to win out? His ego or the fear?
My stuff on the
Because you can't serve 2 masters, at least not at the same time.
internet and look for, oh, look, here's something to do with DSP, right? So it's been months, I think. I want to say this happened probably like June. I could be wrong. I think it was like earlier June. So for 2 months to have passed and no one found it, those crazy...
No one was looking for it, and that kills his narrative. Because remember, it's supposed to be, this is Gout Watch. This is 24 hours, whatever, right? Supposedly. But it really isn't. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. The majority of people react to the shit that you do online. Detractors might go off and try to start some bullshit and whatever, but for the most part, it's just people reacting to the dumb shit you say and do online. It's as easy as that. But he needs it to be more than that to feed the victim complex. So now he's admitting right here, well, I'm not actually being stalked the way I try to tell y'all I am. That's not actually a thing. That must be hard for him to admit. When you're a perpetual victim, that must really hurt you. And it might even hurt his ego. Because he goes through his life believing these detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, I'm the center of their life. They can't do anything without me. And then you're lying about this. And then you're coming to the realization that it isn't actually 24-hour Gout Watch. That the whole world isn't paying attention to Snort Korea and Gout Korea. It's not a thing. It's not that serious. It's a byproduct of your own loneliness and your own paranoia. Sucks to suck.
And that was it. Okay? To be honest with you, I was surprised that no one brought it up because I know how much people stalk my stuff on the internet and look for, oh, look, here's something to do with DSP, right? So it's been months, I think. I want to say this happened probably like June. I could be wrong. I think it was like earlier June. So for 2 months to have passed and no one found it, those...
I wonder if that Safeway actually has a Pokemon card machine. I'm actually curious about that. Speaking of which, speaking of that, of Pokemon card machines, did you guys hear about this whole thing? They're either doing it or they're going to do this, where they're going to add a feature onto these Pokemon card machines, right? Where it has facial recognition, right? You can't cover it up. You can't do anything like that. It's you know, if you tamper with the camera, if you try to put your hand over or whatever, it'll just shut down and you can't, it won't sell to you. But they're going to do a facial recognition thing where it only allows you to buy so many cards, basically so many cards a day, not over the span of hours, a day. And they're all these different Pokemon machines will be linked to each other. So if you think you can go ahead and siphon a couple of them from this machine, and then once you hit the limit, you can siphon from another one from another machine and whatever, you're fucked. And then this is the crazier part, because everybody's sitting there saying, oh, this is bullshit, yada, 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 yada. And they're going to cut us off from getting cards, because I heard there's a scalper Discord that I'm kind of sort of peeking around in a little bit. And it's interesting just to hear like how they plan shit out. In any case, the thing that none of these idiots, because they're idiots, by the way, like these scalpers are not at least the few in this particular Discord, they're not sophisticated. They're not even really bad people. They're just dumb, to be honest with you. They're just riding a wave right now. And a few of them have enough self-realization to realize it's not going to last forever. And they want to try to jump into Yu-Gi-Oh! And some of the other ones, but they can't because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is way too smart on it. So that's why they stick to the Pokemon shit, because it's really kid-oriented, and parents will do damn near anything for their kids. Semantics, we'll talk about it another day. What these idiots aren't realizing is Nintendo is sitting there and is going to develop a database on your asses. That's what that is. They're going to slowly but surely fucking collect the database that's going to have your guys' information in it and shit. Because most of you guys aren't paying in cash. Most of you guys are paying with a credit card. So now, not only do they have your face, but now they're going to have your credit card information too. You should be concerned about that. Not worrying about how many cards you can pull out of this fucking machine. You guys are dumbasses. Fuck around and get yourself put on a list somewhere that Nintendo sells for crazy money later, like Facebook and some of these other places do. That's what y'all about to fuck around and do, and you don't even see it. You don't even see it. It's so silly. It's so silly. I'm going to read more into this, that whole facial recognition thing that these Pokemon machines are about to do. But that's about to be what the situation is. That's what that shit's gonna be and whatnot. And facial recognition is very sophisticated. You can't just go on to does this person exist.com and flash that up and that's gonna work. Nah, B. That shit's gonna be crazy work when that shit comes about. My point though, the reason why I say that is because I'm very skeptical, and I have been since this whole situation started, that DSP was really paying over the market price for some of those cards. If there are really Pokemon machines at a Safeway, a Trader Joe, or a fucking, what's the other one? Safeway, Trader Joe's, or Fred Meyer's, he was more than likely getting cards from there, and he just wasn't telling anybody. And as of recent, he's sitting there saying, oh, I'm a big boy now. I'm going out to actually buy cards in person now, and this, that, and the third. Maybe you were always doing that and whatnot. Now, which is ironic too, that right around the time he starts talking about that, GameStop now provides GameStop is now on DoorDash. So you can DoorDash video games, cards, fucking Fungal Pops, or whatever the fuck you want now from GameStop. So which one is it, Phil? And Phil has admitted that there are Pokemon machines in his area that supposedly have a line around the door or out the door every day, and there's no way you can buy it. So how do you buy that box of Pitch Black then? I'm asking for a friend. Because theoretically, one could make the argument that he went to GameStop to do it, or maybe he just went to his local store and he got it there. Trader Joe's is right across the street. Who's to say if there's a Pokemon machine in there or not? Who's to say he didn't buy it out of that? Semantics. We'll save that for another day.
Crazy, obsessed trolls must be slacking to take this long to find it.
But must be slacking, taking this much time to find it. It's almost like he wanted people to go and find that, just so he can make himself a victim.
Surprised that no one brought it up, because I know how much people stalk my stuff on the internet.
He literally sounds disappointed. If you think about it, it's almost like he sounds like he's neglected, which is kind of crazy. I'm just kind of hearing it now, but if you're listening to his tone, it's not in a mocking sort of way. It's almost like in a disappointed sort of way, like he feels like he's being neglected. It's kind of funny, actually.
And look, here's something to do with DSP, right? So it's been months, I think. I want to say this happened probably like June. I could be wrong. I think it was like earlier June. So for 2 months to have passed and no one found it, those crazy, obsessed trolls must be slacking to take this long to find it.
And here's the crazy part. If low key, he's kind of saying that he doesn't even really trust his dents or fans, whatever. They're all the same, really. But it's almost like he's saying he doesn't even trust them, because he's kind of low key sitting here saying that, hey, you didn't sit there and send the picture to the nearest troll and shit. It didn't make it into That Being Said's Discord or whatever the fuck. It didn't do that. It didn't make it to some detractor or to Tevin's fucking DMs on Twitter. He's it's almost like he doesn't trust his fans, and he's almost disappointed that his detractors didn't find this sooner, so he couldn't victimize himself with it, like he's being neglected or something. Just like how Kino Casino neglected him for Jar or for Jer, for Quarter Pounder, if you will, when that big arc was going on. Well, it's still going on, but you know what I mean? It's almost like that. Something to think about. Just something to think about.
But I guess people are saying they found this picture on the internet, and now all of a sudden the detractors are talking about it. Why?
Yeah, I cut this poorly because there's a lot of lag spike in it. My fault. That's my fault.
I'm here on camera literally every day. You get to see me in full HD. Why does the picture matter?
Well, let's go ahead. Let's look and see why the picture matters. Yeah. Yeah. Let's check this picture. Yeah. Oh well, we don't even need the flash it. We can just show that. Yeah. I wonder why the picture matters. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Why would the picture matter? Very strange. Very, very, very strange. I don't know why the picture would matter, Phil. I don't know. I'm sure. Supposedly it's the same person. I don't know. This person over here on the right, though, his face is all sunken in. It's all dark and shit. I don't know, Phil. It's real strange. Real strange. Here, let's go ahead and use this comparison again. Yeah, I don't know, Phil. I don't know why the picture matters. I'm not really sure. Maybe you got a maybe you got a point. Oh, maybe you got a point.
Are you fucking stupid? The answer is yes, you are. If you think that picture is any different than when you see me here all day, every day, you're an idiot.
I don't know. Oh, Phil. I don't know. Just saying. I don't know. I don't know if it really passes the sniff test. Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Like, huh? What? You're weird. You're a fucking obsessed weirdo. Anyway.
Even though it took 2 months for this picture to surface and all those obsessed idiots were slacking this, that, and the third. Right, Phil? You forgot that? Okay, whatever. I just thought I'd bring it up.
So there was no problem at all.
No one said it was a problem. They were just asking you about it, and in typical Dark Side Phil fashion, you were dishonest off the bat. So the only problem here is you. The only reason why this has any type of real emphasis to it is you. You did it yourself. And now you're trying to damage control and make it seem like it's everybody else's fault to cover up for you lying about this dumbass thing that didn't need to be lied about. Imagine that.
It was good. The guy, I give the guy props because he was very nice and very courteous. And after taking the picture...
And then here's the thing, though, too. So now he wants to go ahead and suck this guy's dick because he's scared that this guy might run into him again. So he can't sit there and blame him for this whole fucking kerfuffle that happened, even though it's DSP's fault, because DSP may very well run into this guy again. So now he's got to clean it up for IG and shit. and whatnot, just to make sure there ain't no problems. Just to make sure that if he runs into him again, there isn't going to be any issues. What a coward. What a fucking coward.
He just let me go on with my day. You know, he didn't bug me or nothing. He was just like, all right. So there you go.
What a sad little man. Well, I use the term man loosely.
And that's that. So that's it. Also,
and
I got, of all things so weird, I got an email. All right. And the email said,
oh, is this an email from a fan and whatnot? Are they going to tell you about how much you've enriched their lives through the content that you put out? Are you going to shed some tears over it? No, it's not that type of email. Okay, I just thought I'd ask.
So I saw the picture of you at the supermarket, and it says, I think your camera filter or your camera settings.
Oh, you're lying. Okay, obviously he's lying about this email. That's what people were saying on the forums and on Reddit, and probably detracted Twitter too. But I know for sure people were really clouding him on the forums and Reddit about that. But DSP has to morph it into a fan email, or not even a fan email, apparently, just a random email that, you know, the same emails that usually go to spam. Oh, resend it again because, you know, I already dumped my spam folder. All of a sudden, just randomly around this situation, he decided to check his emails and found one that said, hey, question about picture, and he decided to open it up. Or he just decided to go rummaging through his spam folder and he found this. Eat a dick. Jesus Christ.
Are bad because every day on camera your face looks overflushed, like every single day. On camera your face looks like it's red or irritated, but in the picture your face wasn't red or irritated.
Oh shit.
Someone actually sent me this email. Okay. So I'll let me make a formal response. Okay.
Sure.
I'm normal. I'm a normal person. Maybe many of you
normal people don't have to say that they're normal. Just like how good people don't have to tell you that they're good people. Just say. That's not a thing.
You are not. If this is your reaction to seeing a very arbitrary picture of me on the internet, but I'm a normal guy. My skin isn't falling off my face. Okay? I have normal reactions when people have normal reactions to me. Like, it's very normal. Honestly, kind of very boring. Okay? I don't know what you were expecting. All right? But if you're wondering about my face,
oh my God,
you say, oh, his face looks flushed. Like right now I'm looking at my camera, and I would argue my face looks a little pink. Do you want?
Well, on top of all the filters that you have that you're not telling anybody about, there's that too. But semantics, save that for another day. He's in his Pokemon era, where if you know, you know, her fucking pictures are all filtered the hell up. That shit's scary, bro. But then again, when she tried to do that Alicia Key challenge all them years ago, and people saw her for what she really looked like, I can understand how you'd be self-conscious too. You're in your 20s and you look like you're in your 50s. Jesus Christ. I'm sure Melanie Mac probably understands what that feels like, which is crazy because you look at pictures of Melanie Mac from like 10 years ago and you look at her now and it's like, that's the same person? Jesus Christ. Sorry, I know there's a few people that I'm cool with who are into her, but time didn't do her no favors, bro. I'm sorry, but time did not do that chick no favors. Holy shit.
Want to know why? Look at my room.
You mean your office? You mean your studio? Or now it's just your room? It's your little playpen. It's your little pig pen. Okay.
What's going on in my room right now?
All the autistic flashing lights that you have on this gouty version of Pee-wee's Playhouse and shit? You mean that? It's kind of disturbing how a 40-plus-year-old man needs flashing lights to lure kids to watching his content and shit. It's kind of scary. It makes one. And then with your grooming of Panda and you defending pedophiles, you kind of see how all this shit stacks up against you, right? You know what I'm saying? You kind of make sense how somebody who was in their late 20s admitted to doing the type of content to draw young kids to watch him. Yeah, that seems kind of strange when you put it all together like that. Yeah, that's really disturbing, Phil. So that's why when people look at this shit, it's like, oh wow, yeah, he does look like the creepy uncle that's probably touched one or two of the cousins and should have gone to jail, but the family just decides to keep it like a dirty little secret. Yeah, I can see how that might be a thing, Phil. I can understand why you'd be frustrated with that picture. Oh shit, that's not a laughing matter. It's not funny, but it is what it is. Fuck Phil.
There's lights. the lights shine on my skin. Hence, my skin looks a certain way because
it's translucent, to be honest with you. It's beyond pale at this point. And now I'm looking at your fucking arm, Phil, especially the with your arm on your left side. It would be your right arm, but it's on my left. Look at how scrawny you are. Look at how scrawny these arms are. This is sad. You know what I'm saying? This is sad. Like, Proper presented me with an interesting theory. I'm not going to speak on that at the moment because that's his theory, and I'm still kind of making sense of it in my own head. But if he's right, which he very well could be, to be honest, this is scary. I always predict. Let me stop. Let me stop right there. I'm gonna let Proper flush that out, and then I'll give you my 2 cents on it when he do. Big up Stage and Proper. But Jesus Christ, Phil, look at these things. Look at these two things that you call arms and shit. T-Rex, the Tyrannosaurus Rex had more muscle in his scrawny ass arms than this is. This is sad, bro. I'm gonna keep laughing at it though, but this is sad.
because I have LED lights on in my room. So of course my skin looks a certain way here
In my room.
as composed or compared to me being out in the open in a grocery store where it's all that blinding white or blue light that they have to light the store. Of course I'm going to look different.
He's actually missing a point. I don't know if dude's camera here has filters on it, but if it don't, then this is what this ghoul really looks like. That's the point. And he's trying to fight this without actually bringing that up. You got this healthy guy right here, and then you got this ghoulish looking motherfucker over his shoulder. There's a reason why people made a big deal about this shit. And really, it's just all laughs. It's not that serious.
See, to normal people,
Oh boy.
literally normal people,
Uh-huh.
would not have any kind of reaction to this entire situation. They'd just be like,
If you didn't lie about it, then they wouldn't have. They would have laughed about it. They would have cropped that shit out and photoshopped it with some other shit, which is they did. If you go on Detractor Twitter or on Reddit, there's some really funny, really funny. There's some really funny edits. There's some fantastic fucking edits and shit on Detractor Twitter and on Reddit if you decide to look. But outside of that, it wouldn't have been anything until he lied about the shit, or tried to lie about it, I should say.
oh look, there's a nice picture of DSP at the supermarket. That's nice. And they would immediately move on. Instead, you guys yesterday kept like tagging, like saying and alluding to this picture in my chat without ever explaining to me what the hell you were talking about. Like,
So who's the blame then? The dents in your chat or detractors? Which one? Because now he's trying to shift the blame again. It's very clear he wants to blame the kid or the guy in this picture. It's clear that he wants to blame him, but he can't because he doesn't have any grounds to do so. So now he's trying to shift the fucking shit on detractors, but he really can't do that because he doesn't have any grounds for that, because the shit's been in circulation for however long it's been and no one's spoken about it till right now. So now he's got to put it on his dents in the chat and make it their fault. Like, and he talks about people like us are the ones who are shifting the goalpost or pushing the goalpost back.
it was some kind of a super secret or something. It was a picture I took with someone and I willingly gave them permission to take it. So why would I care that it's on the internet? This isn't some like covert thing. Like, what are you...
Making a mountain out of a molehill. There you go. Take a cope sip. You need to reset. You need to try to figure out how you're going to fill this
All I'm
argument.
going to say is a lot of people are freaking weirdos. Not the guy who took the picture. He's the most normal guy in this whole situation. He had a normal reaction. He saw someone...
So that includes you then too, right? If he's the only person that's normal in this situation. I'm asking for a friend.
He knew from the internet. He thought it would be cool to have a picture. He was a little starstruck, but he was very courteous. And that was the end of the interaction. You guys are acting like this are fucking weirdos. Like acting like it's some big deal. Oh, your skin looks different. Yeah, it's called light. Did you ever hear the...
You are the tribe that you attract, Phil. So if you're saying this guy who sent you this email is a fan of yours or a dent or whatever, then that really speaks to you more than anything else. I'm not even sure if he actually has conceptualized that yet. You haven't realized that the person who's questioning on this is probably as stupid as you are. You realize that, right, Phil? Maybe you don't. I got you.
Concept of light? Here's the best way...
Look at this struggle session. Come on, Phil, let it go. Just let it go.
to explain it so you'll understand it.
Uh-huh.
Right now I'm playing Dark Souls 2 with the path tracing mob.
Oh, boy.
It makes the light ultra realistic. So when you're in a room with no light, you can't see. When you're in a room with colored light, things are that color. When you're in a room with a certain kind of white light, everything looks white, right? That's called lighting.
It's really crazy how he has to explain this shit to his dents. Because it's not about the tractors now. Now it's literally about the dents. They literally have to take the blunt of this shit. Shit, man. That's fucking crazy.
It's a concept most people get when they're a child.
Oh my God.
So yes, my skin looks red right now because I'm surrounded by red lights that are blinking in my room.
In my room. In my room. Oh, that's so sad. Can't even make a proper W pose anymore either. That's unfortunate.
Anyway, people are really weird. I just don't understand it. Very bizarre. But there you have it. That's the story. That's not a story. And by the way, like I said, if anyone ever, sees me in real life and just says hello and wants a picture, I have never said no. There's been a couple times people have actually asked me to autograph stuff. Now, that was ages ago. Like, a normal person today wouldn't ask me to just autograph something out of the blue. But back in the day, if I was like at a tournament or a gaming convention, they'd ask for my autograph, and I would always give it because I'm honored. That's nice that someone thinks that you're important enough that they want to actually, like, take a picture or get an autograph. I would never say no. The only time I would say no is if
I would never say no. Then the only time I would say no. Say, you need to learn how to speak, Phil. You don't say shit like that. You should say, I don't have a problem with taking pictures or, autographing things, unless you don't say, I would never deny someone, and then try to follow it up with, well, if I do deny it, you don't speak like that. Normal people don't talk like that. And it's funny because he says that the world isn't black and white, there's a bunch of gray, but he literally speaks in absolutes. Fucking crazy. And then he doubles back, and he makes himself just look stupid.
said no. There's been a couple times people have actually asked me to autograph stuff. Now, that was ages ago. Like, a normal person today wouldn't ask me to just autograph something out of the blue. But back in the day, if I was like at a tournament or a gaming convention, they'd ask for my autograph, and I would always give it because I'm honored. That's nice that someone thinks that you're important enough that they want to actually, like, take a picture or get an autograph. I would never say no. The only time I would say no is if there was a real reason. Like, I'm going into my car, and now you're trying to pull me out of my car to get a picture. I probably wouldn't do that. Maybe I'd roll the window down. You could take a picture of me in the window. You know what I mean?
You know how weird that is, though? If someone comes up to you, let's say at a gas station, for example, and say, hey, Phil, can I take a picture? And you're like, well, I don't want to get out of my car, so just take a picture, take a selfie while I'm sitting in the car. You know how fucking rude that sounds, bro? Like, you know how weird that is? Just say no. Just legitimately just say, hey, man, I'm on my way out, man. I'm in a hurry. Just do that. People would understand. All right, whatever.
But outside of just normal interactions, it's fine. It's good. I'm happy for it.
It is interesting, too. He's still obsessing about that picture of him and Kat that were taken. It was like at a gas station or something. It is interesting that he's still obsessing about that after all this time.
So, there you go.
There you go.
All right, so now we have shout-outs to do. We have
great.
Soulmade Gone, who did 200 more kicks. Again, the stupid meme. By the way, you know that
funny.
My wife isn't gone because you heard her in videos and stuff recently. You know that she's here. And then we have...
Why does that matter? Like, why are you putting an emphasis? All right, whatever, bro. So much to prove and doesn't even really have a point to it.
500 kicks. Oh, I already answered. This was the 220. I already did that one. Some random Gator fan has gifted 10 memberships over on YouTube. Thank you to some random Gator fan.
Oh my god.
Thank you so much. That is $30 of support for this morning. And congrats to anyone who just got a gifted membership. That is great. Mm-hmm. And I hope that you enjoy. Okay. Big Larry Gaming, thanks for $1. He says, is it true your fans don't like Splatoon or that you dislike it? Is it the art style or gameplay? Raiders has been a lot of fun. No, I like Splatoon. The original Splatoon, okay? I played a lot of. Go back, you can watch. I made a ton of videos on it, right? And
Why did I leave
The
this in
one
there?
major criticism I had, well, there were two. Number one was that a lot of the matches were kind of laggy, and that's annoying because it's a competitive game.
That was your internet though, so that's not the game's fault. That's your fault.
And if it's laggy, you can't really do stuff realistically. You know,
But then again, keep in mind, it seems strange, right? In every competitive game, they're always laggy for him. Isn't that something? That's curious.
remember, you're trying to cover areas with the paint or whatever it is, the ink, and how you're supposed to do that when it's laggy, right? But the other thing was, I didn't like the format of the multiplayer because the way that they did it was that like every half an hour or every hour, I forget what it was, it would change the maps and modes you could play. You couldn't control it. Like, it would pick what you're playing for you. And I always thought that was weird. And it was a way for them to pad the content of the game by saying, oh, look, because it's a limited time, you can only play certain maps and certain modes. It extends the length of the game, because if anyone could just pick any mode whenever they wanted, you would see the entirety of the game within an hour, and then you'd be bored, right? But overall, I like...
But doesn't that actually give more depth of the game, though, by allowing you to play multiple maps and in multiple environments? Wouldn't that actually be better? And it's funny how he thinks everything is just bloat or everything's just padding when that's literally all he does. That's legitimately all his content is bloat and padding and stalling, now that I think about it, too. That's real weird.
Yeah, I found it addictive, and I did play it for a while.
Well, you're an addict, so I'm sure you find everything addictive now that I think about it.
Okay? Then Splatoon 2 came out, and I'm pretty sure I played that for a good amount.
So you don't even know if you played it or not. Okay, so there you go on that. There's the alcoholism sitting in rather nicely. That pickle brain is coming to maturity rather quickly.
But not as much, and I thought it was all right. When Splatoon 3 came out, which was many years ago at this point, I bought the game, I booted it up, and I played it for an entire 2 hours. By the end of the 2 hours, the entire stream told me it was the most boring thing they had ever seen. And
so all you're doing is reinforcing what that guy said. That they're asking you, did you like Splatoon or did your audience like Splatoon? And you're literally admitting that every game that you play is dictated by what other people tell you, or i.e. what other people are willing to pay for. So that doesn't make you a gamer, Phil. I don't know why you even fell for this. Like, you're just walking into like basic ass traps. Holy shit.
to stop playing it and immediately do something else. And I was like, are you for real? And they're like, yeah, it's just too boring. It's more of the same. It's the third time it's the same game again, and we just don't want to see it. This is kiddie stuff. You know, whenever I play a Nintendo first-party game, they're like...
Well, that's retarded because you play Call of Duty each and every year, and that's literally the same slop. And I can call it slop because I play Call of Duty. It's slop. It's the same bullshit day in, day out. He fucking buys the same copy of Super Turbo every collection that comes out every few years. They don't complain about that bullshit, but yet he still feels the need to... Well, they do complain sometimes. And yet he still is compelled to buy it, so what's the difference there? Like, the gaming industry has been incredibly repetitive over the years. I'm not saying every game, by the way, but you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of repetitive shit that goes on, and he still buys it and he still plays it. So what makes Splatoon any different?
Oh,
it's just this weird ass hate boner that he has for Nintendo, but he needs a shield. He needs a justification to hate him. So use the audience as his excuse.
kiddie stuff. It's not good. So I said, all right, well, I feel like I wasted money. And keep in mind, this was before I started doing much better for myself. So it was kind of an investment that was a wasted money. And I was miffed at it.
It really wasn't. Here's the reason. Well, it wasn't. He made his money back. Let's say he more than likely made the money back on what he paid for it. And that's if he paid for it, because DSP does get free game codes and you don't tell nobody, and he tries to pass it off as if he bought it. On top of that, DSP's baseline, and I've said this for years, but his baseline expectation on a game is if he pays $60 for the game, he's expecting to get 10 full. So that'd be $600 and whatnot. If he could push it to 1,000, then great. But as long as he makes $600 on each game, that's $60, at least $60, then he feels like he's gotten his money's worth. End of story. And yet again, this doubles back to the whole situation with getting free copies of games. More than likely, and he's just not telling anybody, but more than likely, he's put himself on as many lists as he can to get free game codes, or someone is providing him with game codes. This has been proven before anyway, so I'm preaching to the choir on this. So who knows what he's actually paying for and what he don't. Keep that in mind. Do I think he paid for Street Fighter? Yeah. I do think that fucking retard paid for that game 3 times over to get the same results. which is crazy. That's a crazy ass metric. So the fact that people say that, some people, and that this demographic is getting smaller and smaller, but the fact that there was a demographic that said that DSP is actually good at fighting games, despite the fact that he bought 3 copies of Street Fighter 6 and literally had the exact same results over all 3, didn't get better at all, literally had the same, basically the same results over all 3 copies. People just should know better. People should just know better. Like, that right there is the most defining metric of who DSP is as a player in general and whatnot. Just because he can beat up on some scrubs and noobs does not make him above average. You know what I'm saying? It barely makes him average, to be honest.
Because I thought that people were going to want to see it, and they didn't. So I stopped playing it. I never played it again. Okay?
So you're a fake gamer. Okay, I gotcha.
That was that.
Okay.
So here we are. There's a new Splatoon. Why do I care? You guys have already, through your actions and your work.
So you wait. So because they weren't receptive to one game out of the 3 or out of the 4 now, I guess, that's enough for you to just kill the series off altogether, preventing you from playing it? You don't want to see if there's any new improvements or anything? Or are you just sparking this bullshit right now? Or are you just doing angry snorts right now in the hope that will drum up enough interest for you to buy it later, knowing that you can point at these particular dents and say, hey, I said I didn't want to play it, but you guys kept pushing me. You guys kept asking me to play it, so I bought it and I played it. You guys need to support it. Like, Jesus Christ, Phil. Like, the way DSP does anything is the way he does everything. It's the same fucking blueprint, or this is the same play out of the same tired-ass playbook. Like, Jesus Christ. Try something new. Try something new.
Told me how much you don't like it. So why would I want to buy the new Splatoon and play it? I'd be an idiot. To be honest with you, it's making
People said they didn't like the last Mortal Kombat, yet you still bought the new one. Oh, anyway, a fucking dent.
Absolutely no waves whatsoever. Because I'm following all the gaming trends and everything. No one's talking about Splatoon.
Wait a second. Aren't you the same guy that said for years, by the way, aren't you the same guy who said for years to come to your own conclusions about games, don't listen to influencers, all these paid shills, to these game journalists who don't even play the game fully and all the way through? Weren't you the same person who went to war with them and say you shouldn't listen to them, you should listen to trusted people on YouTube, and or you should come to your own conclusion about games? That was you, right? Now you're sucking their dick after you ain't sat there and got beasted during that State of the K2 situation. Because you inserted yourself into something you ain't had no business talking about in the first place. Okay, wow. You really are a lot like Vito. You and Vito have a lot of similarities, boy. I gotta tell you.
No one. It's just the Nintendo.
You and that pedophile have a lot of similarities.
Fans, as usual. Oh, look, another console exclusive for us to play. So the Nintendo people are a buzz about it because there's literally nothing else to do on Switch 2. But outside of that, no one cares about Switch.
People still play Switch 1. So there you go on that. And they're actually loyal to the brand. Fanatics in some ways, to be honest with you. And it's funny how no console ever has any real games, or they have nothing to do or whatever, and yet you're on PC and yet you still feel compelled to play console games. Make that make sense.
Tune.
Cope sip. Sometime today, Phil. Sometime today.
Okay. Kane says Splatoon has fallen into the same trap Pokemon has. It becomes so iterative it starts to feel lazy. Same thing again, which is ironic from a series that was once called Fresh. If you remember, when Splatoon first came out, okay, it was actually innovative. It was an interesting take on multiplayer because it wasn't about killing your enemies. It was about covering the screen with ink, which was actually an interesting take. You know, what game had ever done that before?
It's just another form of tug of war, Phil. To be honest. That's all it is. That concept isn't really new. They just use ink. They used a bunch of colors to basically cause stimulants to cause you to keep playing the game and play the game longer. That's nothing innovative at all, to be honest with you. That's all it is. It's just a tug of war type style game. It's no different. Call of Duty does that. That's why we have scoreboards, Phil. Just saying. And whatever. I get what you're saying, but it's not that innovative.
Right? Pretty much none.
It was basically their version of Call of Duty, just with, you know, smaller characters for kids and shit. That's all it really comes down to. That's all it comes down to. And that was really them trying to basically get a piece of the Fortnite shit. Even though I think Fortnite is on Nintendo systems, I think. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't, to be honest. Well, actually, now I think about it, I do see why it wouldn't, to be honest with you. For a couple different reasons. Semantics, but I'm pretty sure Fortnite's on Nintendo, but I could be wrong.
So if you remember, the physics of the ink were kind of unique and different from other games.
Yeah, they could actually swim in it. If that's what you're talking about. That's one of the things they could do anyway.
It's cool to see this physics of this ink like going everywhere. I agree with you. But since Splatoon 1, what really has changed? There's some new weapons, new maps, a few new modes, but it's the same game over and over. How many times do you want to play Splatoon?
And so how many times do you want to keep playing Street Fighter? How many times do you want to keep playing Marvel? How many times do you want to keep playing Call of Duty? How many times do you want to keep playing Dark Souls? How many times do you want to keep playing Demon Souls? And their remasters and shit. How many re-releases are you going to buy, Phil? I'm asking for a friend.
You know, if you got addicted to the formula, you're probably happy when a new one comes out. But for most of us, it's kind of like we already played it. You know, I don't really need to buy it again. Okay.
Now, keep in mind, he bought it 3 times until the third one wouldn't pay off. Keep that in mind. It's very important. So there you go on that. Now I think I kind of understand why I left that third part in there. But, whatever. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in closing, what do we make of this? Okay, so the Splatoon thing doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he's an incredibly repetitive person, especially when it comes to games, and especially games that he thinks will make him money. So I don't understand what he's really talking about with that. Like I said, I honestly think that was a red herring. He's just doing that to show his disdain for it right now in the hopes that someone will provide major backing for it, at least in the short term, which that is what that is. It's an old tactic. He's been doing it for a while. As it pertains to this whole picture nonsense, well, 1, yet again, the filters. 2, him lying about it. And 3, and I think this is the part that really bothers him, is how bad he does look. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very clear that DSP does have some form of body dysmorphia, right? And despite him and his LARPing about how, oh, I don't care about what I look, I only care about what my wife says and all that other gay shit, the reality is that he does care about how he's perceived. He very much cares about that, especially if he's out in the wild, because it's very clear he wants to be as low-key as possible. Get in, get out before he gets caught up in some bullshit. You know, the ways of a coward. And the reality is, that picture didn't make him look good. The truth be told, when you saw him on those phone streams during the whole PC nonsense, he don't look good. He looks really sick, to be honest, and whatnot. And a rare occasion of not sympathy, but in a rare acknowledgement of what his situation is, he looks sick. He looks really, really fucking sick. So whether it is the Ozempic, whether he has an underlying situation, or whatever the fuck the case is, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. So he's fighting that because he realizes, hey, this is what this is. But the thing is if he is on the fucking jab, you know, Mounjaro, Ozempic, or whatever weight loss, fat burning thing he's on, he probably can't get off of it now. He's probably too addicted to it and whatnot. And because he has money, and he's always fighting what the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics says, even if there's not one in the room, he doesn't want to be perceived as broke. And he also don't want to be perceived as a failure if he puts the weight back on. So he's kind of stuck. So if he's on the jab, he's not going to give it up because he doesn't want to regress, because then people are going to speculate about it. Because of course we're going to speculate about it. If he is sick, he's clearly not getting any better. So he's already on the clock and the clock is ticking. So there's that. So he's in a catch-22 no matter how the fuck you look at it. So it is what it is. He just shouldn't have lied about the picture. He should have said, yeah, this, you know, I took a picture with someone, no big deal, it is what it is, kept it pushing. But because he initially had to lie about it, because he was scared and paranoid, has led in his fucking ego, but he was scared and paranoid is what led us to where we're at now. So at the end of the day, fuck him. He got what he got. Not everything is out there to be blown up by detractors and shit. There's plenty of stuff that detractors have found that they haven't spoken on. And that's about as far as I'm going to leave it, because I was told that in confidence. And trust is important in this day and age and whatnot. It's actually equity. So, you know what I'm saying? People make a lot of judgments on you based on if they can trust you or not. So the reality is, not everything that's out there on DSP makes it to the light of day, and that's done for a reason. So DSP blowing this all out of proportion is his own fault, nobody else's. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for listening in. This has been, I'll name the segment later, GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Take care of yourselves, people. I'm like, really, and I mean it when I say that. Take care of yourselves, man. Take care of yourselves. When I don't end up like this fucking piece of shit here, or like Review Tech USA's odd looking self and whatever. Just take care of yourselves. Later, people.